Well, these games are never boring. They never are, and we found a way to make them interesting. But proud of our guys. I mean, come out on with a victory. Thought defensively we were tremendously outstanding. 7 sacks again, and I don't know how many tackles for loss, but I mean, did a great job and scored and got 7 points scoring. After the first 2 drives, I tell you what they did the first 2 drives I was very proud of too. When Arkansas moved the football and, had a good plan coming in, we were making adjustments. But when it got to the red zone, we were able to toughen up and hold them to field goals. And I thought the difference in the first half was they had 2 field goals and we had 2 touchdowns. We had another field goal. But, our defense being able to play really good red zone defense. The 4th and 1 was critical. They got a big momentum swing, getting us, and we were able to take it down and eat the clock and score a touchdown right before half, which was very good. And coming to, we're in really good shape, 17-6 at halftime. Feel very good, comfortable coming out, and then make a critical error right there and give a turnover and get a points. Then what I liked, we were able to respond back and drive down. We didn't get a touchdown, but we got a field goal, which we could have got a touchdown there. And then went back and forth, and then had another fumble. And then the defense again played great red zone defense and hold him to a field. I don't know if they ever made it to the red zone, but did a great job on sudden change of holding them to a field goal. They were outstanding in the game and what they did. And then back and forth, moving it back and forth, and got to score on defense. Got the punt return. It was great to see him come back. And again, he's our guy. He's our juice. He's our energy. He makes those plays and does that. Was outstanding in the game from that regard. Unfortunately, we missed a couple field goals too. We left some points on the board. We only punted twice in the game, and of course the 3 turnovers. Then we're running the clock out and have a bad snap, which can't happen either. And gave up a turnover, and then we gave up a touchdown. But at least we took the air out of it the right way and went back down and ate the clock and took the game away. But it wasn't pretty. We're close to playing what we're capable of playing, in my opinion. But the guys play hard. They're physical. They're playing together. They're not hanging their head no matter what the circumstances are. And they're playing the next series, whether it's offense, defense, special teams, and we're learning to get better. We need to get better quickly. We've got a very good opponent next week in Alabama. So, but we got to fix our problems. But very proud of our guys, and we'll celebrate the win and get ready to go tomorrow. Questions?
All right, we'll open up for questions. Please raise your hand. We have microphones on either side of the room. Give us your name and affiliation. We're going to go on the front row on the right here to Brent first.
Brent Zorneman, Houston Chronicle. I think that's 14 sacks for you in the first 2 SEC games. What's been the difference for you there, the key to that?
Well, I think, again, technique, we're doing a good job of getting the right calls. DJ's doing a good job of getting calls. He's mixing pressure with bluffs and getting, but some of the bluffs are allowing you to get to the one-on-one matchups. He's one up front and able to do it. And what I was proud of today, you got 7 sacks and you rush these guys, but he got out a couple times on runs, but man, he kills you so many scrambling and dumping the ball off and making big runs, and they did it with the integrity and the discipline to not let him out of the pocket and they did a really good job once they got their hands on him because KJ is an extremely tough guy to get on the ground, and they got their hands on him and were able to get him on the ground. So I think discipline and the maturity of our guys, and they're playing good football.
All right, Coach, we're going to go front row on the left to Olin.
Yeah, Olin Buchanan with Texas Ags. A couple of things, Coach. You mentioned some of the things that didn't go well. Mm-hmm. With an impressive win like this, how much does those things that you didn't do well, how much does that bother you?
It bothers me tremendously because, you can't, in this league, you can't give things away. You know what I mean? You need to, we can play better. And we do in spurts. We just can't give up the things that happened in that way. And there are a lot of things you got to fix. And if you're going to play in the SEC and play consistently week in, week out, you can't have everybody's got good players. They're going to make enough plays on their own that you can't have the self-inflicted ones. And occasionally you'll have something, but you can't have multiples. You know what I'm saying? And we got to do a little bit better job and clean some of those things up. But but at the same time, I still like the dynamic of our team. This team plays, it's responding to the next situation, and it's got a ton of room to get better.
And then your thoughts on just the game that Bobby called, and now that it's over, do you have any feeling that it meant anything more to him?
No, I'm sure it does. I mean, playing there, but at the same time, you have to ask him that. But at the same time, I thought he called a great game. I mean, we had plays there. We only punted twice in the game. I mean, we had the interception on the first drive, and we had a fumble, but I thought Bobby called an excellent game. We mixed run, we had pass. We spread the ball around. We had different formation, personality. I think he's had a great year all year. I think he's doing a great job, and called a hell of a game. And we got to execute a little bit better, and we were. I thought we could have taken the air out of it right there with about 4 or 5 minutes to go. I think we were doing it, and we got him back in it. But then we were able to come back and do it. So I think he's doing a hell of a job.
Coach, we're going to stay in the front row right here along the aisle.
David Nuno, Texas Ags. Jimbo, can you talk a little bit more about the complementary football, getting a special teams touchdown, a pick six, and everything involved?
When you're doing that, man, I mean, when your defense points, your special teams points, and setting things up. If you're going to play, I always say this. People say, defense wins championships, offense sells tickets, but that's not true. If you're a very good football team, all three phases have to be productive and consistently productive. And we've got returners that can do it when we get chances. Unfortunately for Bond today, I mean, he usually has been money. He hit an upright and missed one. They were long field goals, but he's been great. So, that part of our game was good. I thought the 2 punts that we had, I thought Nick really hit the ball really well today and what we did, and then able to score on defense. And you're going to have to do those things when you play good people, and that shows you the explosiveness of our defense too.
Follow up with Edrin Cooper. He's just been on fire these last couple of weeks. Just talk about the high level he's playing at.
Well, he's seeing it. His eyes are in a good place. He's seeing his eye discipline and his eye control, being able to trigger and react. And then he's so athletic and can get to point A very quickly, and he likes to do it and he's physical. And when those front guys are causing the chaos they are, man, if a backer like him is hard to get your hands on, he makes a lot of plays.
Coach, we're going to go to the very back and last
Okay.
riser on the left.
Coach Eric Kelly, Fox 44, way back in the right.
I got you. Put my hat like this.
Yeah, you mentioned him a little bit in your opening statement, but did it feel like kind of a full circle rewarding moment for Nias on the same field that he
Yeah.
got hurt on last year to have that kind of game?
It really was. I think it does. You have to ask him that. I'm sure he'll tell you, and it was. It was for me. It was happy to see him make those plays and do those things. And like I say, he's our guy, man. He's our guy and always has been our guy, and he does those things ever since he's been here.
Coach, we're going to go front row on the left right here.
Yes.
Cole Thompson, allaggies.com. Coach, back-to-back weeks, great performances from Le'Veon Moss. Just where have you seen him start to really kind of hit his stride at the right
He's
moment?
seeing it. He's knowing it. He's healthy. And like I said, and I love, Amari's playing well, and Ruben, they're all outstanding backs. But Le'Veon has a juice to him. He's a strength, a power. He's a very, very good football player. And he just, I think as he has more success, his confidence is growing. You can see it, the game, for like any guy, it's starting to slow down gradually. And then he's making plays and doing it. And then I'm glad to see it. He's a talented guy.
And then when you look at today's kind of passing attack, how deep downfield it gets, does it always kind of make you kind of excited to see a fullback get in the end zone for a touchdown?
Oh, yes. Hey, you got to distribute the ball. When people know there's guys in the game that are not going to catch it or you have to defend, it makes it a problem. And we're getting the ball to everybody. Bobby's doing a good job of spreading that ball around. Our quarterbacks are too.
Coach, we're going to go all the way back again on the riser to Daryl.
Okay.
Coach, can you talk about getting the pick six and then just the kind of ball game that you got from Chris today and how that ends up lifting up the entire bench?
Well, they got the defensive score back that we gave away. You know what I'm saying? Which was huge in the game, and be able to get that back to it was 20-16. So you're one play from getting behind. You always say that no matter how much you're controlling the game, that's one play. If somebody slips, drops, whatever it is, and that happens. And him be able to score defense, we got it back to an 11-point game, got it back to a 2-score game, and finally we were able to get it to a 3-score game. But that was huge. And then Nias took it to a 3-score game. That was those two huge plays, and very happy for Chris and the success he's having.
Coach, we're going to go 5 rows back on the aisle.
Okay.
Coach Justin Woodard, KXTV in College Station. Your short yardage defense by your defensive line today, excellent. 3rd and 1, stuffed them. 4th and 1, stuffed them. Just up front, I know it's physicalness, but what goes into that short yardage success like that?
Well, one, we got a good plan. DJ's got a great plan. He's using them well, and those guys understand leverage, hands, and power, and they're really good players, and they're hard to move, man. We're physical up front, and we need to be physical up front. You got to be in this league, and that was that 4th and 1 and that stop, which, and I totally understand why they went for it. They're right there at midfield. They get it, get momentum, can get down there and score, because the score at that time was 10-6. You know what I'm saying? And we're able to get that stop and then go take the clock and and get the points right before half were huge.
Coach, we're going to go back on the riser,
Okay.
right on the edge of the risers to Noah.
Coach, Noah Board, NBC5 here in Dallas. Saw you hugging up there with Jerry at the end.
Yeah.
Just talk about what it's meant to play in this venue. We don't know what the future holds, but just talk about this neutral site and what it means to play.
I love the game here. I really do. And it's not, and I'm not against it. I understand why we're taking it back to home and all that stuff. I love the game being here, because I think it sets up like I say, like a bowl game, like a playoff game. And the kids in this state have grown up loving and wanting to play in Jerry's world. They wanted to play here, and our fans up in this part of the state. It's an easier, and we got a lot of kids we're recruiting up here and doing that. So I love it, and I appreciate Jerry and everything Jerry does is first class, and the way he's treated us great. And I have a lot of respect for them and what he's done as a owner and a part, what he does for the Cowboys and everything in football. And very blessed that he's helped us. And I really like Jerry's a good guy.
Coach, we're going to go 5 rows back on the right on the aisle.
Hey, Coach. Jimmy Jai, UTA Radio Sports. How would you assess the play of Max Johnson, knowing he's going to be the guy the rest of the way?
Well, I thought he played an excellent first half. Had a couple. He had one mistake the first drive out. Made a mistake, and then he makes another great play. What I think's happened. I think he had that ball tucked in the right arm, and he made a great run. Picked up a first down. He just happened to fumble the ball. We got to take care of it. But other than that, I thought he did a really nice job. Turnovers as a quarterback, like you say, they're hard to come by. But I think he's leading. I think he's tough. I think he can take us to where we need to go. I've said this before. I think we had 2 starters. Have the utmost confidence in him. I thought he played tremendous football and kept his poise in the game and brought us right on back.
All right, we're going to stay in the aisle right here to Kevin.
Kevin Sherrington, Dallas Morning News.
Oh, okay, there. I'm sorry.
On that last play, did you think about taking a knee?
No, I just 4 or 5 seconds. If you take a knee real quick, then you can. I wanted to run the clock out for 4 seconds. I wasn't trying to score, just trying to run the clock out. And we didn't move it for 3 plays. Wasn't going to move it on the 4th one. So I was just trying to make sure we didn't have a play left in the game. Unless you take back in a slow safety and then you get in that situation, maybe like happens today. Guys hit your quarterback and all that stuff right there. And because it was 4. If it had been 3rd down, yes, 4th down, I had to do something to run 4 seconds off.
All right, Coach, we go to the 3rd row here on the left.
Coach Kate Ayers from the battalion. On some of those runs from Max, it looked like he came up a little bit hurt. Would you prefer him to slide on those, knowing you
Depends
already
on the
have a quarterback
situation.
hurt?
Depends on the situation. Listen, you can't walk around and protect him all the time. Yeah, you want to be smart and slid. I think the one he fumbled on is one he got hit on. Might have been one other one, but that's part of football, man. You're going to do that, and you got to be smart when you got to be smart, but you got to be tough when you got to be tough.
All right, we're going to go in the front row right here in the middle to Travis.
Third quarter, Tyreek Chappelle gets a finger on the pass to the end zone. Is that a momentum play? Makes it go from 16 to instead of a tie game?
We talk about this all the time, the inches. You're fighting for inches all the time. You're trying to take them away from them. You're trying to create them for yourself. You go back and watch games. There's probably 5 or 6 inches in this game that decided this game. That's 5 or 6 plays. And every play, you got to fight for whatever inch you can create for yourself to be able to tip the ball, grab the guy, tackle the guy, whatever it is. And that's why that's my cliche. That's kind of like our motto. We got to fight for the inches. We got to take it. We can't give them away, and we got to create them. And that was a big play. It was by an inch.
Coach, 2nd row along the aisle. Cedric.
All right.
Hey, Jimbo, Cedric Golden, Austin American Statesman. When you're able to get that pressure up front from your front 7 and not have to bring the house, what luxury is that for your secondary?
Well, you're not exposed. You can double a guy. Your matchups can be really good. And where you go, you don't get exposed. And then a quarterback, because when you're getting pressure, and if it's man to man, and you're getting that pressure away, all right, he can, and guys today are so good at throwing the football, and you got big receivers. They're open when they're not open, if that makes any sense. Front shoulder throws, back shoulder throws. But now you're throwing into zone coverages, you're throwing into combination coverages, and when you can rush with 4, man, it's a lot tougher on a quarterback than it ever. The pressures are great, but at the same time, he's in one-on-one situations. So delivering the ball, getting rid of the ball, and you got to be careful where you're dumping the ball when you're in zone 2 because of the picks and interceptions. So it's huge when our front 4 can do that.
All right, we're going to go 2nd row on the right, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Jimbo, Alex Miller from the Eagle. You talked about how it's never a boring game with Arkansas. Mentioned the pick 6. What is it about the way you guys are somehow able to get just kind of a momentum-changing turnover whenever you guys play them?
Well, hopefully we can do it against everybody. And that's what we got to do. I keep seeing this team grow. I keep saying this. I like this football team. It's got a lot of improvement to do. It's got a lot of growth to do. But I love its personality. I love its demeanor. I love its competitiveness and toughness. I really do. And it's learning. It's allowing itself to be coached and pushed, and as we see it from the practice field to even in the timeouts and the breaks, and they're just finding ways to make plays. They're finding those inches, and very proud of them.
We're going to stay on the right side, 3rd row on the aisle.
Hey, Jimbo, Carter Carls, 247 Sports. Arkansas started 4 of 5 on 3rd down, first couple drives, finished 1 of 10. What was working for you guys then compared to the
early we tried to bring a pressure off a nickel, and they got a rub route and got us bumped off. Second one got a dig route, got in the middle and got in there, and then they had a screen. They got a screen and cracked our backer who had him. It was in man coverage, and they cracked the backer and got him in man and got the screen out the door. And then we made the adjust. We changed up some pressures. We changed a couple looks and got some different personnels, and were able to make the adjustments by how they were attacking us. And I thought DJ did a really good adjusting right there.
All right, Coach, we're going to go 3rd row on the left.
Yes, sir.
Coach, Luke White, the battalion, can you talk about, you talk about KJ Jefferson, but Rocket Sanders and how tough he is to bring down, but y'all played really well against him today.
What I was proud of, the tackling. We tackled very well in this football game, and we gang tackled. We swarmed the football. We tackled with leverage. We got guys on the ground, and kept him in the pocket at the same time. And like I say, those two guys, you go back a year ago, we couldn't get them on the ground. I mean, those two guys, we couldn't get on the ground. They were physical and tough, and they're great players, man. And our guys on defense, my hat's off to them.
All right, we got time for one more question. Raise your hand if you have a question for Coach. We'll go front row to Mark right here on the left.
Mark Passwaters with Rivals. Looking at the stats, 4 tackles for loss, no sacks against one of the most aggressive defenses in football. Kind of wanted to just get your thoughts on the performance of the offensive line.
I mean, we're getting better. I keep saying this. We're not where we want to be totally, but man, we're getting sound. We're getting guys. And you saw Crownover play a lot today. You saw Dewberry play a lot. Like I said, we got 7, 8 guys in there, man. We feel like we can rotate and play, and we don't drop off. You know what I mean? And that depth, and we're building some young guys in there too that I think are going to be really good. And I think Steve's doing a really good job. We protected. We got the declarations right. They got hats on hats, and had a couple times they brought some pressures at the end, but for the most part, and then we got the running game going, and we're able to break some runs and run in the short yardage situations, and run on the goal line situations, which is big. So they're continuing. I think we're growing as a football team. I really do.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate your time.